Yeah, I know it's been a while. I know y'all been wondering where in the world does this guy go? All this stuff been going on. Black Lives Matter movement. Um, just so much, just been going on. So the police injustice and all that. So yeah, definitely aware of it, spoken in a lot of it into existence to prove people on what was to come ahead. Trying to introduce to them about the power of God and how it truly exists, and how prophets exist, and the reality of how the gifts that they possess, or anybody who's anointed and chosen, how the gift works. But anywho, fast forward here. I know y'all pretty much want me to brush up. Hey, what's been going on? We ain't heard from you almost 2 years, man. Like, thought it was another Jimmy Hoffa case, or what's going on? Basically, my computer was down because of my busyness, just as well as somewhat laziness to keep an antivirus on my computer. So got infected real bad. A lot of stuff slipped through. I had Norton. I let my subscription expire. A lot of stuff started to slip through, and it started going real slow. And then I had a reboot problem where my power supply was low. I mean, it went low, it was weak. So I couldn't boot my computer up. So there was a lot of different stuff going on with it. And it cost me a pretty penny. It's a nice system. Got me a nice HP. And I know I just could have bought a new tower, right? Be done with it, buy a new tower. But because it's got a pretty strong punch, pack pretty good power, I figured I'd go and get it fixed. So I finally got around to it, getting it fixed, getting my system flush, which that cost a couple of $100, to get it fixed right. But it's surfing quick, moving quick, like it's brand new. It's like a brand new PC. So that's been my situation. But I have still been ministering. I've been calling chats and stuff, and still been active. Facebook, I got an account. I'm not as broad or wide open as I am on YouTube, but I'm gonna work on it, and probably try to link the accounts up. But I'm not on Facebook like I am on Tube, where I'm broadcasting and sharing messages. So, but I, just kind of incognito on there, and not really just putting it out there like I need to be. So I'm going to work on it, but first and foremost, I want to get myself back up and running. So here I am, back up and running, latest software and all that, get my system back up to date so I can get back to going and flowing. So I really have missed you guys a lot, sending me questions and elaborating on topics or whatnot. So it's quite a pleasure to be back. But anywho, um the message I want to share that the Spirit put on my heart is actually two, but I'm not going to cram all two in this segment. So if you see another video where I'm wearing the same shirts, the undershirt underneath, and yeah, but if you see me video where I'm wearing the same shirt, more than likely I'm doing more than one segment in the same day. Because normally when I do that, I'm trying to play catch up because it's stuff I've been wanting to get out, and while it's fresh on my mind to get out, I want to go ahead and put it out there. Okay, the first one in particular is the real reason the black what's causing the what is the true suppression of the black race. The real suppression of the black race, and the other one is prophecy in Daniel about King Nebuchadnezzar's dream, which I found to be pretty interesting revelation that came to me. So I want to do the suppression in the black race first, and then cut this off and repost and start reading some scripture, prophecy in Daniel about America. I mean, it's already prophecy there, and I think I read out the Apocrypha about Daniel's younger brother Ezra not Ezra, Estrus, and it's one of the ancient antique videos where I had a lesser resolution camera on when I'm having a headphones set, I believe, with the mic. So it got, of course, a HD camera where I ain't got to wear all that stuff. And I'm explaining on there, of course, the prophecy in Apocrypha, but there's more revelation that has been discovered or revealed to me in Daniel about King Nebuchadnezzar's dream. So I definitely want to get that out there. But getting right to the point, getting right to it. So yeah, 2 little 5 minutes brush up, but you know what's been going on with me. But still in the game, still, focused, positive, hadn't let the faith go. I'm still here. So yeah. All right. The real reason the suppression is take place in the black race. I have spoke this in the past in Hebrew sources, and not by cult, but by heritage, even though some who are awakened and aware, and some who not awakened and aware of their original heritage. But just like on my video, Frustrated Black Men in Brazil, video response, how I spoke a whole lot about the abandonment of black women because of the character. A lot of things black women was doing that was causing decent black men to stray away and say, hey, I don't want to get involved. So I'm going to share some things on that, and it's not to pick on black women, but it does go both ways. But here's how I'm finna go elaborate and show you how it's mostly on the black woman end. Now, I am not trying to humiliate black women. I'm not trying to attack, but the truth is the truth. I mean, it's just like with black men. And for me to be, I guess, yeah, not I guess, but I say I guess because I know my true heritage nationality is Hebrew Israelite. But to be a brother, speaking on towards his own women, it seemed like bashing, like, man, you trying to dish your own women. No, this is this is more trying to educate and enlighten and trying to help. It's just like I watch videos where I listen to black women opinion on what they feel about where they feel the areas that black men need to improve. So it's just listening to different perspectives. So just because a person share a perspective, that don't necessarily mean they're sharing facts. They might be sharing their opinion. Now normally me, I like to base my perspective around facts. Opinion, very, very rare. I share things based off opinion. I like to be grounded in what I speak, on what I speak. So, so like I said, I watch videos where black women get their responses too, as far as what they feel the improvements areas where black men need to make and areas where black men are lacking. All right, number one issue in particular is I think the most critical of all is the lack of motherhood. And by having a lack of motherhood and a lack of integrity as a mother, that right there is like the biggest suppression and crippling in our race when it comes within a family. Because if you think about it, of course, it starts at home. You heard the expression, oh, they must don't got enough home training. Well, if a person has home training and educated properly, a child educated properly and has good home training, they're going to take it with them wherever they go. Whether it be the job, out in the streets, wherever they go, their education is going to stay with them. So, but of course, there are a lot of single parent homes, and a child grows up in a home with the mom. They pretty much depending on mom to set the example, to tell the truth, to lead them the right way. So, a lot of cases, here's the biggest problem. All right. Mom young, she probably got hot, young, and tempting, or still hot, young, and tempting, or just hot and tempting and up in age. She still got it going for herself. Children grow up and mom's still trying to rip and run the streets because she enjoying her prime. She don't want to truly be a mother. She's so focused on herself that she doing just enough to get by with her kids. And this is one angle. So the children grow up and not being able to bond with their mother because she's so busy focused on herself. So that causes a little bit of rebellion and disrespect, a great amount of disrespect and loss of respect towards the mom because mom never cared about us anyways. Mom was real selfish. So that causes a lack of respect for authority, and it causes misery and just as well as pettiness with a lot of people because of the background of how they grew up. And pettiness is normally people who are desperately seeking attention. So by that being lacked in receiving in a home or household, being for mom or dad, where it's a two-parent household or just one, that can cause a lot of pettiness. So that pettiness end up spreading out into society and people going about being petty, nitpicking, causing a lot of drama, therefore causing a lot of chaos, causing friction and tension with people, whether it be the authorities, the police, or whether it be another individual. So that pettiness is what causing a lot of people to get caught up in situations, bad situations, and they bring it upon themselves. So when it comes to the alleged police injustice, I have witnessed videos like with Sandra Bland. Okay, yeah, it's no justification in smothering and killing Sandy, but here's the thing a lot of people are missing. In Sandy's case, watching the video, all Sandy had to do was put out her cigarette. Regardless if she's smoking in her own car or not, put out your cigarette. It was just that simple. When I look at it, Sandy lost her life over a piece of paper, a sheet of paper. She, something, and this is actually obituary of my grandfather, but something that looks like this. Not exactly like this, but the rectangle. Police officer, write down the ticket. So she basically lost her life over a sheet of paper. Yeah, there are some cops out there that want to slang their authority around. They want to let the person know that they big and bad. Some people get a new job position and a position of authority and they want to slang that authority around. And that's the case with a lot of them. So therefore, let them have it. If you know you in the right, you ain't do nothing wrong, let them have it. Or if you know you did something wrong, bite the bullet. Take it with a grain of salt. Yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and get the ticket. And life goes on. So in Sandy's case, I'm in my own car. No, no, no. And she just kept going and going and going and going. And that right there is a lot of y'all problem. Is if you know you in the wrong, accept it. You ain't gotta get mouth, you ain't gotta get attitude. Accept the fact that you're wrong and move on. That's part of maturity. So this just a little illustration in Sandy's case is put the secret out. Yeah, it was wrong. Yeah, there's something petty as well. You notice I'm using that word a lot because it's a whole lot of it going on, especially in these last days, of course. But yeah, that was paid as well. Turn signal pulled over. Let them have it. It's a $20 ticket. All right, give me. She didn't even have to say give me the ticket. Just all right, yes sir. No sir. Just lock it in. You need the same thing to yourself, man. Man, pull me over. A turn signal. Wow, that ain't got nothing to do out here. But not saying it aloud, just thinking to myself, get the ticket. Then, of course, he gonna be like, "Well, have a nice day, ma'am. Or have a nice day, sir. And just make sure you use your ticket from now on. I mean, your signal from now on. Yes, sir. I'm gonna make sure I'm on it. Oh, yes, ma'am. And then soon you roll your window up, you dirty mother. You necessarily gotta say those words, but just keeping your composure. Keeping your composure. And I'm not getting sidetracked here, but just I guess, this what the Holy Spirit lead me in a direction to elaborate on because that right there caused the whole Lives Matter movement in the first place. So yeah, but like I said, just keep your mouth closed. Just point blank. Learn how to keep your mouth closed and keep your composure. All right, but yeah, mom grows up. Like I said, she not hardly paying attention to her kids, and by that being the case, children grow up, and like I said, a lot of pettiness get brought into society, nitpicking and whatnot just for attention. So that's one issue. Like mothers growing up without hardly bonding with their children. So that's a big issue. Number two, and always fussing and cursing them out as well because not used to the pressure of being a mother. Number two is the most common and the most detrimental of all is get involved with a guy and knowing a guy ain't worth nothing. He telling lies, running game, whatever you want to call it. End up having a kid by him. And well, now actually those are the ones that get off the hook. The one that's barely got something going for itself. He's sloppy, lack intelligence. Hardly got anything going for himself. Those no ones get out the hook. And end up having a baby by him, and of course want the male who worked hard, who's surviving in a struggle, who got something going for itself, to be to reciprocate from the mistakes of the deadbeat baby dad or the guy that she met out in the streets who she thought looked attractive with a nice body and ended up having his baby, and that's all you know she got from him. She didn't get true love, loyalty, or integrity or anything of that nature. She just got a baby and want the guy that worked hard to, who actually got something going for herself, who has intelligence, and who can be a provider to take care of the next man's problems. The children not necessarily the problem, but want to try to want the next man to, let's say, reciprocate off his responsibility, his mistake. So, of course, that is not fair, and that causes confusion amongst children growing up in rebellion and disrespect, and a loss of respect towards mom, because then they get to thinking, mom wasn't nothing but a whore, and this once again pettiness in society. So, of course, especially the males that grew up that way, they have a loss of respect for women because if they see mom growing up to be whorish or slutty, then when it comes to stepping out of society and trying to date and get involved, they're gonna look at all women as whores and sluts and bees because mom didn't set that best example or a good example in how a woman's supposed to be or what type of woman he's supposed to be looking for. All right, flip side of the coin, the good brother, who he sees potential in his woman. He sees potential and he know she overexposed. 9 times out of 10, she overexposed, but she probably got a great body though. Like, man, look at her body and you know, look at her face, pretty toes and all that stuff. Her personality might be shot to the curb 9 times out of 10. Brother noted, she personality might be shot to the curb, but she attractive. So it's on both ends, like a woman look at a guy knowing he lack intelligence, knowing ain't a he don't have much going for himself, but she think he look fine. Well, it goes both ways. So the brother end up like I said, she look fine, nice body, whatever. So he thinking he can turn a whore into a housewife. In WHORE. It's in the Bible. Whore Babylon, right? So he think he can turn a whore into a housewife. And there's a lot of brothers that see potential. Like a lot of men have, because I heard the statement made, men are visual creatures. To a certain extent, not all men, because normally the ones who visual are visionaries, always seeing things, to create, like that the New York Yankee Stadium. Whoever decided to build it, that was based off a true story. If you build it, they will come. If you build it, they will come. Somebody that kept hearing this voice. I can't think of the guy's name, but if you build it, they will come. So Normally men that are visionaries, like the want to overachievers or want to accomplish stuff, those are the ones that's more visual. Not all men are visual. So the guy sees this woman and he sees her beauty, so he thinking she has, this woman has potential. So I want to try. Normally we try and be inclusive. Try to see if we can cause a transition in our life. So we get to thinking, okay, I'm a dater, winding down or whatnot, and he end up getting a slice of pie, and not, the literal slice of pie, but the other one. And see, she got some good pie. So he like, man, it's a nice body and great sex. So end up getting attached to her and really trying to invest in her. He really trying to do right by her. He really trying to make it work. And so he looking at, man, I got this woman with this nice body. She got great sex. The only thing I got to work on now is her being responsible and personality. Try to be more compatible with each other spiritually and mentally instead of just physically. And 9 times out of 10, that rarely works out because how much baby mama drama that we have in the United States? You know, a whole lot. And this is all ethnicities within the state. So it's not just within brothers. You got a lot of white men that's going through it too. So so what happens, of course, he tries his best to try to invest in her, try to do right by her. She's stubborn and hard headed. She conceited and stuck on her looks. She thinking out my looks is what got him liking me in the first place. So I'll concede and big headed. So she ain't thinking about responsibility and trying to one day be a wife and, having a family to build something together. Well, the decent brother already got a lot to bring to the table. So he looking at her as an investment. I'm gonna elaborate on that too, on relationships. So he looking at her as an investment and end up not working out. So what happens? They end up breaking up. He end up going his separate ways. Might possibly had a baby out of the deal because of good sex. So it's like, dang, child support. So you know that's coming up because being vindictive and vengeful, same thing. She want to make sure he feels the pain of her loss. So therefore, throw him on child support. And a lot of brothers going through this. So manage to make sure he feels the pain of her loss. So then when he get involved with other women, she really can't stand it because she can't stand the sight of another woman enjoying the benefits of his good loving. So therefore, by having a child between the two of them, that's an opportunity to try to intrude in his love life. Is using a child as an excuse. So therefore, oh, don't have no other be around my child, and she better not be doing this round, and she better not be doing it. But technically, a lot of those women, baby mamas, because I seen the definition on Facebook, the mother of a child and the baby mama, and totally two different definitions that they gave, anyways. But she claims she has so much love and concern for a child, but actually using a child as an excuse, like I said, to intrude in a man's love life. She better not be having doing this, doing that around a child. Knowing that this is a decent man, knowing that he loves and cares for his child dearly, or children dearly, and knowing he wouldn't let them be put in harm's way. Because that's the whole point of her putting him on child support in the first place. It's not that he's lacking as a man or a father to his children, but it's for her to be spiteful towards him, being spiteful. So, so it's not the case. So, end up really don't love and care for the children as much as he do, because 9 times out of 10 as well, the decent dads that do go through the hell and the drama with the baby mom or the mother of their kids or whatever the case, ex-wives and all that, the dad has more love and affection for the child or children than the mom do. because mom only using them as a voucher, something to cash in on. She really don't have true feelings for her children like she claimed to do, because a lot of times when the guy says, okay, hey, I'm just gonna fall back, you know, screw her, and not necessarily the kids, but a lot of guys just say, hey, screw the baby mom. I don't want to put my kids through the drama. So he just falls back, move on, and don't hardly come around his kids. Don't try to call or contact the kids, and wait until they get up in age and then try to make contact with them. Therefore, ain't got to go through the mother. But as long as they're young and tender, well, a lot of cases got to go through the mother. Hey, Carl, let me talk to my son. Let me talk to my daughter. Well, they sleep and they just, so it's just going through a lot of drama. So the decent guy, like I said, end up more than 9 times 10, the one got to pay child support. The one got to go through hell and drama while Ray Ray and John gets off the hook, because she know that he never had nothing to offer in the first place. He barely was a provider, barely was a man to begin with. So that's why I say normally get out the hook, because you can't really just squeeze no nickel or dimes out of them, or do any more damage to them than they're already doing to themselves. So hey, but the decent man is totally different. So yeah. So then go down to the child support. The decent guy try to go down there. It's all about money. First off, you got to get an attorney in order to get visitation rights. Now, how jacked up is that? You got to pay court costs and get an attorney to get a visitation rights. So that's already a scam, because the same day that child support is established, the same day visitation should be established. It should automatically be an entitlement to the father, not an option, but an instant entitlement. So, but is not the case in family court matters, because some guys had to pay X amount of dollars just to get visitation rights, acting as if the mother of the child is a major corporation or a Fortune 500 company that you need lawyers and have to go through a court and have to fight constant battles and constantly go through different court dates, come back on different court dates in order to get visitation with the kids. Like, is it really that serious when all they got to do is just, hey, just like a letter gets sent and come up, talk to a counselor or whatever, and sit down and, hey, this is the amount you got to pay a month, and this is so ordered, and this is the amount of days he gonna spend with his child a month, and this is so ordered. But no, it's not set up that way. It's an option. you know, Here's an option for you to get visitation rights instead of here's the entitlement as well, just like the woman has entitlement. So a big, big scam. So decent brother, of course, is the one normally get involved, because Ray Ray and John, they don't give a dang. They're like, hey, I don't really care for them kids anyway. I just want to get some. They just being real, right? So what happens in that case? Children grow up and want to know about where's their dad. Why dad not hardly around? Because he probably was around at first and then withdraw. That's a lot of cases. Then mom teaches her child to hate. That's a major destruction and detriment. Teaching a child to hate their dad. Your dad ain't this, your dad ain't that, your dad this, your dad. So planting all these negative seeds in a child's mind that they have a deadbeat dad, or their dad don't love and care for them. And also lying to the children. That's another damage that a lot of mothers do out of spite towards the dad. So you lie to your children and you teaching them how to hate. And the most, that's even in the scripture. Christ said, if anyone causes one of these little ones to sin, better him tie a millstone around his neck and go jump in the sea or the ocean. So Christ says, better you kill yourself than destroy the innocence of a child. But teaching them to hate at a young age, and the most horrible of all is teaching them to hate their parent, their father. Whether it's a father teaching the kids to hate the mom, or the mom to teach the kids to hate the father. Either way, you don't do that. That is horribly wrong. How can a lot of you women expect to get blessed if you teaching a child to hate their earthly father And some of you are churchgoers, but yet you want them to embrace their heavenly father, but yet hate their earthly father. Well, that goes back to what Christ says. How can a man hate his own brother who he sees daily, but love a person who he cannot see? Love a God that you cannot see. So, how can a child love a father that they can't see, but hate his own biological earthly father that they can see, regardless of who dad is? So that right there, with some of these women are churchgoers, how can you be a godly woman that is teaching your child how to hate when God is all about love? Christ was all about love. So in the scriptures, it teaches children and adults to honor our parents. But all throughout the scripture, it's saying obey your parents, respect your parents, obedience, obedience. But yet, when you have mothers that's teaching their child to disobey the father and disrespect their father, but yet you are a church going woman. So that right there, highly hypocritical, very, very hypocritical, and very damaging, because you shouldn't be teaching a child to hate at all, because that's instantly destroying their innocence. That's instantly corrupting their innocence. And most importantly, you shouldn't teach them to hate their parent. Even if you have some feelings, see, you feeling some type of way about the ex-husband or ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, regardless of how you feel, you don't put that in the child. You let them choose on how they feel. And even if they do choose to hate and disrespect the parent, that's not something to boast about. It's not something to smile or grin about. Yeah, they don't like their mama and they don't like their dad. No, it's more so, okay, they apparently seeing a reality of their dad or their mom, but still teach them to respect their dad, their mom. Like, of course, y'all know, I think in the past I did a video with my daughter, which she's 10 now. And I have always taught my daughter to love her mom and respect her mom, regardless if me and her mom don't get along or not. Because we really don't. Because she, yeah, one of them cases, the decent brother trying to do on one of them with her. So, but I always taught her, to respect her mom. But you think I get that? You think her mom does that with me? No. She told me herself. So, yeah. But that case, that case, this one in particular. So, like I said, the decent guy, he ends up, like I said, suffering a decent dad that needs to be in their child life or children life in order for them to get that proper example and proper education. Because a mom's way of teaching and a dad's way of teaching is totally different. A mother's love is different from a father's love. So therefore, it's important in the way bonding takes place. A son and daughter bonds different with a father than they do with a mother. So it's a different form of bonding. So in order to have that complete love, which a mother cannot give, nor a father cannot give, that's why both parents are needed in the picture. But a lot of single moms are trying to give the full and complete love that they cannot give. You can't give a father's love. It's just a completely different type of love that you just can't give. No matter how hard you try, you can only give a mother's love. So, yeah, so that is the biggest detriment as far as within the black race, and the huge suppression is it starts within a home. And then you have this youth going out violent, youth violence, and rebellious because of the lack of attention at home and the lack of respect for their parents, whether it be a mother or a father. So by that lack of respect, that causes a lot of violence out in the street. And it causes disrespect towards elders. So of course the youth is going to be disrespectful to other elderly people or authority figures if they're disrespectful in the home. So that is the biggest case within a race. You can say all day long, it's welfare or it's the government, and no, it starts within the home, and it's a lot of black women, and not picking on y'all, that's causing the damage. It's you. Get over the fact you lost this man. You screwed up. And in some cases, there's an opportunity to get back with him. But being petty and playing games and trying to fight the women he date, you never know how God may work things out. He may date a good three, four, five women or whatnot that's no good to him, no comparison, and there's some things about you that is, like I said, is no comparison to them or no comparison to you when it comes to them. And by you still being a decent, sweet person or trying to get back to that point instead of vengeful and spiteful, you never know. The fire might just rekindle between the two of you and you might get them back. But if you know you got leftover feelings for this man and you being petty and trying to turn his kids against him and trying to do everything you can to make his life miserable, all because it's leftover feelings, do you actually think that's going to increase your chances of getting them back? No. So that's what I don't get is when women choose to go that route because it's leftover feelings. Because let's say you succeed at making his life a living hell. Now what? Now what if it's leftover feelings? You succeeded, right? You made his life a living hell. So now what? Now you can walk away and say, good, now I made his life a hell. So now I can go away and I'm free now. But you still got a child by this dude. So those feelings are still going to be there if they are there. So no matter how much damage you try to cause to the next man, if you got leftover feelings there, it's not going to eliminate those leftover feelings. That's not the way to do it. That's not the way to solve it. That's only making matters worse. Because all they're going to do is either abandon the children, even if he is paying child support, you can't touch him. You can't mess with him. Because what the court going to look at is, well, hey, he carrying on his child support. So as far as him, how often he see his kids, that's his right. There's no law making a father being a child life. So you can say, hey, I'm just pay my child support and I'm a man go on about my way. And my kids get up in age, they'll come find me, they'll come see me, or they get up in age, I'll come to them. And I explain everything that happened. This is so common. This is so common with a lot of men. So just something to think about on that. Just something to think about. So yeah, and then the other thing is the two more things I want to elaborate and bring this to a close is mothers. You have mothers just like the movie I don't know why my eye seems watery. But it's just like the movie Not Easily Broken by T.D. Jakes. He also made another movie called Jumping the Broom. And both movies, it was the mother involved being petty and interfering, trying to make matters worse. Any decent mother, if you got love for your son or daughter that's up of an age that's able to marry, I mean, if they're having issues, you don't try to entice them to do wrong. You don't entice them to be vengeful. Once again, teaching them how to hate. Once again. So trying to entice them to be vengeful and do wrong, that it's not making it no better. And once again, my eye is seeming to what up here or whatever going on. Okay, maybe it's some eyelashes because it's kind of long. But yeah, but that's not making matters worse. Like in a lot of cases, like if a mother see her daughter has problems with, or even her son has problems with somebody he date, and she knows that there are feelings there for this person, instead of her trying to help save the relationship, it's like a lot of mothers try to help sabotage the relationship. And once they sabotage it, it's like good riddance, and that's once again wrong. instead of just trying to sit the two down and try to talk things out and be reasonable and say, hey, what is the problem here? And hearing it from both sides and giving a wise resolution on how to fix the problem. Instead of, you gotta go put them on child support. It's like it's so many mothers that teach their daughters how to be spiteful instead of how to be loving and caring. And that's another illustration on Not Easily Broken with Taraji P. Henson and Morris Chestnut. You know, it was she was teaching in a movie. I forgot the actor name that played her mother, but she was teaching Taraji in a movie on how to be spiteful, how to be resentful, how to be tough, how to go against her husband. She was not teaching at all on how to love her husband, how to respect him. She was teaching how to go against him. And you see that with a lot of, I mean, like I said, it's in all races. I'm keeping it home, but you see that with a lot of black mothers within the black race, teaching their daughters how to be spiteful and revengeful, teaching her how to get over on a man, how to play a man, how to use a man, instead of how to love a man. Here it is, her daughter has an opportunity for love. And if your daughter have an opportunity for love, why would you try to sabotage it if you're such a loving and caring mother? Instead of trying to save it because you see your daughter has the opportunity to be happy. You know why? Because a lot of black mothers are jealous of their daughters. They see their daughters have an opportunity for love and an opportunity for happiness, but they don't. They see their daughters have a good, decent man, but they don't. And in some cases, believe it or not, which I'm sure some of you ain't so surprised, a lot of times the mother tries to get involved with her daughter's man, sometimes sleeping with them behind closed doors, and sometimes trying to get in a relationship with them. So that's just how desperate and how great a lot of mothers desire to be loved and be in a relationship. So in some cases, yeah. So like I said, instead of trying to teach your daughter to love this man, you know, it's teaching them how to hate, teaching her the tactics on how to be vengeful towards him. Like, here are the vengeful tactics to try to bring him down, or here's how to play him, here's how to use him. But you are a mother. You are a mother. You're supposed to be teaching your daughter how to love, how to be a good wife, and be a good mother. And that right there definitely is not being a good mother. So, like I said, it's not bashing, it's telling the truth. And to be fair, like I said, I do a segment reversing, flipping a coin, but this is the honest truth of what is the root cause of the problem within the suppression. You just got a lot of bad mothers. It's not, oh, all black men are bad or majority of black men are bad fathers. No, there are a lot of brothers out there that want to be in their children's lives. They want to be there. They just don't have no concern for the mother. And a lot of women can't stand the fact that when he comes around, it's no sparks, no fireworks in between the two of them. It's like she completely null and void, and his only concern is his children. And she can't stand it. There's a lot of women that can't stand that. That when he comes around, it's nothing there. It's no attempt to get back with or nothing. It's, hey, get my child or my children, I'm gone. Spend time with them, bring them back, and then I'm gone. So the pettiness comes about. And last but not least, in a relationship, ladies, to help you out, this to cap off this segment here. If a man comes to, how can I say this? When it comes to dating, if a man, oh, okay, let me start there and then I can get back in the flow of things. I watched the Steve Harvey segment, I think on Facebook or YouTube, where it's these two superficial twins, two black twins, females, of course, women, and they had blonde wigs on, I think pink dresses or something like that, and they went out on a date with these two decent brothers, and both brothers was intellectual. They had good careers. They had things going for themselves, but Steve Harvey had, you know, fabricated their looks. Getting them think putting yellow teeth on a guy, and he ended up one guy, he shaved his head bald, but ended up putting like a toupee or something on the back of his head. They look like your average Joe Blow guys. They look like they didn't get out much. They look like you sit at home and watch football all day type of guys. Guys that, like I said, they didn't have any sort of quote unquote swag. All right, so ended up going out on a dinner date, and the two twins was just completely rude. That was just, that was abrupt in their questions, but it was just the instant lack of disrespect. It's like they treated them like they wasn't even human or anybody special or important. And what was so odd about it is they was asking questions: how much money you make, how many bedrooms your house got, what kind of car you drive. And I'm sitting there like, what the you don't. I mean, if I go out on a date, seriously, and a woman asking me questions like that, just what kind of car you driving, how much money you making, I'll be like, you know what, excuse me, check please. I'm out. I'm out because you. I appreciate the honesty. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate the honesty, but you let me know up front that you don't care nothing about my cares, my concerns, nothing about my desires. You're only interested in my background, but you're completely ignoring the foreground. So therefore, no, it can't go down. I'm sorry. I'm out of here. But of course, it was a social experiment Steve Harvey was doing with these twins. And of course, they failed horribly. And of course, you pull it up, you'll see, you'll find it. But anywho, what got me is that these women, they act like they had something to bring to the table, and they didn't. And it was a light skinned brother, a dark skinned brother, and a light skinned brother asked, I think the female one on name was Ty, asked, "What do you see yourself in the next 5 years?" And she said, to be incredibly awesome, to be incredibly amazing. And I'm sitting here like, what kind of answer is that? To be incredibly amazing. Bleep, please. I normally do outbursts like that, but incredibly amazing. That's the best you could think of. Like, really, man, get the bleep out of here, man. Like, that was my, like, really? That's all you could think of? Oh, incredibly amazing. Okay. So, anywho, fast forward, they, like I said, completely rude, disrespectful to these two brothers. And you know what was even more incredible was these guys got very good careers. They financially well off, but they didn't come all stuck up, and they didn't come all as if, man, we wasting our time with these women. We got this much money and we wasting our time. And I mean, they could have been the ones that come in. How much money you make? How many cars? Or how many cars? Yeah, probably there could have possibly been a question. How many cars you drive, or what kind of car you drive, and how much, how many bedrooms your house got? They could have came off like that, but they didn't, and they the ones had the assets, while those women did not. So they coming across as if they had something going for themselves, and they didn't. It was no comparison. They was nowhere near where these brothers was at financially, nowhere near it. So Steve Harvey brought the guys out in their true form, and they was clean cut, decent looking brothers. They, when I say that, they weren't thrown away, and they weren't looking how they was looking on their date. They was looking like themselves, very presentable. So when they came out, women screaming, "Ooh, ah, how good!" They thought they looked to them and stuff like that. And then the twins felt like a dang fool, and I enjoyed seeing that. I'm like, look how they look so disappointed. Not nothing personal, but because of how they treated the man. Regardless if you're attracted to him or not, you don't have to be rude and disrespectful. And I know a lot of women made the argument that if it was the other way around, men would have been no, because there have been some women that I have dated that were not dated, but just got involved with that I didn't find so attractive. I went on blind dates before, and women that I didn't find so attractive. So even though I didn't find her attractive or she wasn't my type, I didn't disrespect her because she's still a human being. I just let her off easy or softly in a respectful way. But I didn't do it in a way where I'm going to hurt her feelings. To hurt her feelings, or like I said, where she hates me if she see me in the near future years later, because that's that disrespectful. Even though life goes on, but like I was saying, how the grudges take place with a lot of women, men too. But yeah, so that's why I always ended it in a respectful note because they still human beings at the end of the day, regardless if I'm attracted to them or not. So that was where I was looking at. It's like, hey, you should have caned them guys like that. You should have just did it in a respectful way. But it was more like, they ain't nobodies. But then when they saw their true looks, their true appearances, and saw they were decent brothers that had something going for themselves, they felt like complete a-holes and felt like an idiot. And one of them tried to flirt with the guy. She was reluctant to flirt, and then she tried to flirt with him. The dark skinned brother, he sat in between the two. The one he was trying to talk to, she got all flinty and flirty and rubbed his arm, laughing. And I'm like, oh, you want him now. Now you see who he really is and what he about. She ain't want him at first, though. So, but yeah, but the whole point that I'm making is how those twins were. I can tell that they probably was used to more of a club approach instead of a business approach. So, ladies, I'm gonna share this, and then let's get ready to wrap this segment up. And I don't know if I don't know if I'm gonna do another one after this. The true decent men who got something going for themselves, are going to do a presentation. It's going to be in a business format. If you notice how some business deals take place at the dinner table. You hear the expression all the time, what do you have to bring to the table? A lot of business deals take place at the dinner table. Why? Because when you go out to eat, wine and dine or whatnot, it's a more relaxed state. It's to kind of shed this fat off of the seriousness and get straight to the meat. So it's more relaxing, go out on a dinner. So a lot of times you have clients that want to do brunch or do lunch or whatever the case. May do breakfast. Sit over breakfast, have a good meal, you know, be relaxed, talk and discuss about the different proposals that each individual have and be more relaxed where each client could see the personality of the other. So it's more relaxing. It's straight to the. It's about business, but it's relaxing and straight to the point. And it's also about integrity. So a man that truly has something to bring to the table, he's gonna be straightforward. He might ask questions. He might try to see where your mindset is because this man has worked hard and it goes both ways, just as well as woman. But this man is, and I'm speaking, of course, from the angle of the male aspect, because a lot of women fail at that, just like what happened with the twins. But this man, he know he has a lot to bring to the table, and he invested in himself. So the assets that he accumulated, he know he had to work hard for that. So if he trying to build a future with somebody or a future with you, there's gonna be questions involved. He gonna be a little bit serious. Why? Because he wanna see who he getting involved with, to know how to take you. So if he see that you really ain't got much going for yourself, but you got potential, he might question your mindset. He questioning you to see how's your thinking, and just probably bring up certain topics to get you to elaborate on it, to see what is your perspective on certain things in life. So that's more like a business, like manner, because he knows he has assets. He has point blank the credentials and the benefits and assets to invest. He has, in layman terms, a lot of things to bring to the table. So because he's not worried about his end on if he can be the provider or not, that's why he asks questions and trying to get to know you more as a person. Like it's more like a business deal. A person not just finna up and invest with a person just like that or do business. It's a lot of movies where they show that because that's a reality. They sit at the table and I say it's all in a relaxed state, where it takes shares the fat off the seriousness. And once that client determines, or that CEO or VP, however it goes, once they determine that, hey, I like their personality, I like their offer, you know, I like everything about this company, I like everything about this client. So I'm gonna do a deal with them. I'm gonna sign on. I'm gonna join. Welcome aboard. Same thing with in dating. The guy that's got something going for himself. It's gonna be a presentation with him. So he gonna speak on things in life. He gonna share some wisdom. He gonna share knowledge. He gonna have personality. It's gonna be a combination. It's gonna be a presentation. He don't mind sharing all the different details about himself and what he trying to attain out of life, just as well as what he already got established. But that's rare because it has to be trust built up first before he just put his business out there on what he already got going. But you'll kind of have an idea because if y'all go out on a date and he walk you to your car or you ride with him and you see what he ride, you kind of got an idea how he dress, how he talk, how he present himself. You kind of got an idea if he got something going for him or not, and how much he got going for him. Well, not how much he got going, that's down the road the more you get to know the person. So a guy that's like that, if he sit down and he asking questions like what took place on the Steve Harvey show, when he asked one of the twins, well, where you see yourself in the next 5 years? That's trying to get things going and flowing. It's trying to get a stimulation going with himself. Not just with himself, but with her as well, but especially with himself, to see if he can be in sync with this woman. Because he knew he had a good thing going for himself. So trying to get involved and trying to talk and discuss things like, hey, we trying to get involved with each other. I know what I got to bring to the table. I want to see what you got to bring. So it's a discussion taking place here. Just like when one of the twins asked the light skinned brothers, well, type of woman you look for, he said loyal, decent. He was speaking principles and speaking with intelligence. And the first thing she said was, oh, I got a good friend that would be perfect for you. Why he can't be perfect for you? I mean, if you truly looking for decent men in your life, why he can't be perfect for you? He was now both the brothers was perfect for both of them after the fact. When they saw their true colors, they saw them for who they really were. But while they was disguised the way they were, it was like no, that it ain't gonna work. Yeah, I got a friend, it'll work with, but it ain't gonna work for me. But then soon they saw the brothers' true colors, all of a sudden it worked. So, and which is fair. I mean, like I said, if I was there and a female, and normally I'm not shallow like that, cause there are some women that I've dated. I've dated a lot of nines and tens. Don't get me wrong, but I also dated maybe sevens or sixes because they might have certain features that it was a turn on to me. I say I date a woman, she ain't got no body, a straight board, but he might got a cute face. And as body wise, her curves might be slight. She might got lowercase C's instead of capital C's for curves. So it might be slight. But yeah. So but normally the brother got something going for himself. Like I said, he gonna do a presentation. Now, last but not least, and I say I'm pushing out here, but hey, y'all know it's been a while since I did a video. So obviously I got a lot to say and a lot to catch up on. Last but not least, the brother that's advertising, he gonna say everything that you want to hear. He not gonna give a presentation. He not gonna ask questions or discussions because he wants you to buy into him. A brother that's investing, he want to get familiar with you before he decides to go further and getting involved with you, because the one who has something to offer, something to bring to the table, he's going to question you and really try to get to know you to see if he wasting his time or not. While the one who don't have anything to bring to the table, he's going to advertise. He's going to try to say everything you want to hear in order to get you to buy into him, in order to get you involved with him. While the one who actually got it, he ain't gonna advertise. He gonna do a presentation. He gonna present himself well because he actually got something to offer. The one that's advertising could also try that, but you'll be able to tell a big difference on who advertising and who actually, got something to bring to the table. So yeah. But other than that, brothers and sisters, as y'all see, I had a lot to elaborate on. And like I said, I missed you all, really do. I'm glad to be back. And as y'all see, I had to do a great outpour on this issue of the true suppression of the black race. And as you see, there's a lot of different angles to cover from. I'm glad I remembered it all. I'm glad the Spirit led me to remember it all. So, like I said, I got another segment I wanted to do about America. And I don't know if I'm going to do it same day or not, but I'm going to get back around to it. But in the meantime, hope y'all enjoyed the message. Always trying to give great insight. And as always, peace be unto you all in Christ for life.